think it's working now. Okay. Good. It's working. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Majjhima Nikāya MulapariyayaSutta. And hello, everyone. Welcome to Majjhima Nikāya MulapariyayaSutta. And so last week we started with the we started with the first part of the sutta, and we actually did discuss about some portions, and then we stopped right here. We just discuss about the MulapariyayaSutta Putujjana Vasena Patama Naya Bhumi Parichedo. That actually was the place where we stopped. I would like to go to the this one, our presentation, and in the sutta, maybe I will just give you a brief wrap up of last week's discussion. So in the Mulapariyaya Vagga, this is the very first chapter of Majjhima Nikāya, and MulapariyayaSutta is the very first sutta of the Majjhima Nikāya out of the 152 suttas. And so we discuss about how Asutava Putujjana, that particular word, I think is very important to all of us. How Asutava Putujjano, that is the uneducated, or the average normal beings. They are not, the uneducated is not really the current sense of the word, but this one is in the real Dhamma terms, and in practitioners' point of view. Asutava Putujjano means those people who have not attained any of the higher noble states. So the Buddha looks at thought process of four kinds of persons. An untaught ordinary person, that is the Putujjana. And that Putujjana is the one who, like you and I, we just traverse in the samsara. And disciples of higher training is the Seeker, and who at least achieve stream entry, that is Sotapanna, and Arahantas, and the Tathagata, and how they deal with the root of foundation of suffering, which is desire born of ignorance. So there are four kinds of people that we need to learn and remember. One is the Putujjana, the ordinary person, just worldly uh, human beings. And then Sekha means the training person, training for a higher learning. And those are actually, it is called Sekha and Aseka. And Sekha is the one from Sotapanna, Magga, Phala, and Sakadagami, Magga, Phala, and Arahanta Magga. And uh, Arahanta Phala is the last one, that is the Aseka. And then the Tathagata. Tathagata is the Buddha himself. So these are the four people, four kinds of individuals that the Buddha was talking about. And we discussed last week about the Putujjana, Asutawa Putujjana, how they look at things, and how, like when we have opening, when we have, when we look into something, and how we look at them, and how we judge, and how we create our own karma, and that way we just keep traversing in the samsara. So it's very interesting that when, for example, a normal average people, asutava putujjana, and he would look at the water, or he would look at the earth as earth, which is not the case for the Aseka, and Tathagata. For the Apotujana, the lens we use to see things is completely different. So we see water as water, and we see fire as fire, and then identify with it. And then we have many judgments, and we take pleasure in earth, if we look at the earth, and we also identify that earth is mine, and we take that pleasure in earth. And then because of that, why does it happen? Because they have not completely understood it. That is why. That is the problem. So these four people discourse examines the nature of human experience from the perspective of four categories of person: Asutava Putujjano, the trainee, that is the seeker, and the disciple in higher training, and then the Arahanta, the fully awakened person, and then the Tathagata, thus come, or thus gone. Or if we say, actually, I like to use Tatha and Agata. Tatha also is called truth, Agata is come. So the one who came to the truth also is called Tatha. So if you say Tatha and Gata, that is a different thing. Thus gone. If you say Tatha and Agata, maybe thus come. But I also would like to point out to you, like Tatha and Agata, that means the one who came to the truth, one who realized the truth, is also called Tathagata. So one in a state of just this here, uh, and this one is actually Tathagata, means the Buddha himself. So four kinds of people are there. We were discussing about that. So Asutava Putujjana, he perceives earth as earth, Patavya Sanjanati, and then he conceives earth, Pataving Manyati, and then conceives from earth, and Patavito Manyati, and conceives earth as mind. Okay, he conceives earth as Manyati, and then he conceives earth as mind. This is the problem. This is where we actually create karma, because we identify the earth with ourselves, and then we also delight in earth. Pathaving abhinandati means we delight in earth. Why does it happen to us? Because he or she has not fully understood it. What I say, tank is the hetu. What is the reason? Apariññātaṃ tassāti vadāmi, because he has not realized the truth. Now, a bhikkhu or bhikkhuni who is in higher training is different. Now we learn here Pathavi, and then in the sutta we also learn the water element and the fire and the air, and also the creatures as creatures and gods as gods, and perceives the creator as the creator, Brahma as Brahma, all these different kinds of um, elements, and also the other spiritual beings, they also have different fabrications, different identification, self-identify them with these, even the devas and the Brahmas, it is said, even they do just like that. And when they do it, they they create karma. Why does it happen to them? Because they have not completely understood it. Even to the monks, like to the people or any practitioner like Akasanan Chayatana, Nevasanyana Sanyayatana, Akinchanyayatana, Vinyanan Chayatana, all those very high jhanic level people also, um, it can happen to them. So still they are away from completely realizing the truth. And then it comes to the other category, that is Sekha category. And who is Sekha? Whose mind has not yet reached the goal and who is still aspiring to the supreme security from bondage, directly knows earth as Pataving. And Pataving Patavya Abhinandati, should not conceive earth. Pataving Mamanyi, should not conceive from earth. Patavito Mamanyi, should not conceive earth is mine. Pataving Meti Mamanyi, should not delight in earth. Pataving Ma Abhinandi. Why? So that he may fully understand it. I say tankesta hetu parinyayang tassati vadami. So their understanding is different. Now when we look at a solid thing, let's say a patavi, like even in our body, we have a lot of solid things, right? Um, we have um, we have bones, we have flesh, we have teeth, so many earth elements are there in our body. And so the Seka people, they look at them in a different perspective, not like the Asutava Putujana, the average people. They look them uh, as elements. They do not identify with it, and they do not even delight in these things, and they should not conceive that earth is mine. You see how they do not create any scope for themselves. They do not create any karma. That is how it happens to the Seka people. So the Seka people are Sotapanna, stream enterer, Maggaphala, and Sakadagama, um, once returner, Maggaphala, and Anagami, non-returner, Maggaphala, and then Arahanta Magga. Okay, these are called 7 sekhas, and they are called higher people with higher training. That can be a bhikkhu or bhikkhuni, even a lay people. It can be, um, but for a higher, aseka, that is actually the arahanta person. That is called aseka. So that person directly knows earth as earth, and he or she does not conceive earth. So pataving namanyati, does not conceive from earth. Patavito namanyati, does not conceive earth is mine. Pataving me namanyati, does not delight in earth. Pataving nabhinandati. Why? Because he or she has fully understood it. I say parinyatang tassati vadami. Because she or he is free from lust through the destruction of lust. Kaya ragasa vitaragata. Okay, this is very important. So vitaraga. So the raga is the something that they completely eradicate. Only when it comes to the arahanthood, these things can happen. Otherwise, the out of the 10 fetters or dasa sangyojanas, um, first 5 will be eradicated only when you become anagami, and up to that level you eradicate only 5 fetters. For example, in the state of sotapanna or stream enterer, one can completely get rid of um, Sakkaya Ditthi, Vichikicha, Silabhata, Paramasa, the 3 fetters, the first 3 Sangyojanas. And then Kama Raga and Patigha will be comprehensively subsidized in the Sakadagami level, once returner level. And that will be completely gone in Anagami level. But then we have Ruparaga, Aruparaga, Mana, Uddhacha, and Avijja. These 5 fetters will be gone only when you become Arahanta. So that is why the lust, Raga, Raga is a very strong latent tendency that cannot be washed away just like that. Let's say like you have a bowl and you clean it, you can wash it, and maybe most of the things will be dirt will be gone. But then there are certain other dirt that cannot be washed away. Even with the soap, maybe it will not go away. You need to make a special effort, maybe some chemical or something to remove, so that the bowl will look very bright and shining. And same thing with the mind. In our mind, we have tadanga and vikambana and samucheda. We have to uh, eradicate our defilements in 3 different layers. Tadanga is when we do something good, or let's say we practice a dana or sila or bhavana, and that time, during that time, the certain defilements will be temporarily subsidized. But maybe when you achieve jhana or something, or even sotapanna or something, some of those defilements will be uh, substantially uh, subside, subsided, or mostly gone, but it will still be there as latent tendencies. And they are also called anusaya kilesa. And that will be gone only when it comes to samucheda level. So tadanga and vikambana are still that not complete eradication of defilement, just for technical understanding. Okay, samucheda level eradication, complete abolition should be there for someone to completely achieve the state of arahanthood or liberation. So Tathagata is the other one. Tathagata also has the opportunity to achieve, I mean, he has self enlightened, and he has directly seen things, and he directly knows earth as earth, and does not conceive earth, does not conceive from earth, does not conceive earth is mine, and does not delight in earth. Why does it happen to the Tathagata? Because the Tathagata has fully understood it to the end. I say Pariññātaṃ tathāgatasāti. If you remember in Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, it is said, Abhiññayaṃ abhiññātaṃ bhāve tabbaṃ ca bhāvitaṃ pahātabbam pahinam me tasmā Buddhosmi Brahmana, in some other suttas, I remember. In Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, the Four Noble Truths are understood in three more ways. For example, Dukkha Satya should be Pariññaya and Pariññāta. And Samudaya Satya, Pariññaya means that should be realized, that should be understood. And then the Samudaya Satya, that is the second truth, that is the tanha or the craving, should be also eradicated, right? So that is called Pahatabba. And then so the one who actually eradicates also will realize, though I have done that. So that is called pahina, pahatabba pahina. So abhiññayaṃ abhiññātaṃ, and then the other one is pahinam, pahinam, pahatabbang and pahinam. And then the third truth is bhave tabbancha bhavitam. That is the fourth truth is bhavita panch bhavita. Actually, third truth is the nibbana, right? That is the cessation of the cause of suffering. The cause first is the truth of suffering. The second is the cause of suffering, and the third is the cessation of suffering, and then the fourth is the path leading to the cessation of suffering. These are also incorporated with three more different truths, and that way all of them together becomes 12 in number. I will discuss it later on when we get a chance. So here we know why pariññāta. Pariññāta. So pari here means actually overall. So that the Tathagata will know these things completely, fully understood. That is why he is called Pariññāta. So the Buddha can see things just like that. Because Buddha has understood that delight is the root of suffering. Delight here is the tanha. And Nandi Dukkhasa Mulanti. So Nandi, you see, because when you see something and you delight in that, so that is the root of suffering. And then that with being as condition, there is birth, and that becomes bhava and jati. So that way your sansaric existence will happen. Okay. Okay, I think I have to share it. Okay, I hope now you can see that. Okay, so for those people who did not see the slideshow, and here we were talking about the Asutava Puthujjano, and that is the people who see Pathavi, earth as earth, and then conceives earth, and then conceives from earth, and then conceives earth as mind, and then delights in earth. That happens to Asutava Puthujjana, untaught ordinary person. Why is it happen? Why does it happen to that person? Because he or she has not fully understood it. Okay, and then when it comes to the Sekha person, that is the person with Sotapanna Maggaphala, Sakadagami Maggaphala, and Anagami Maggaphala, and Arahanta Magga, they are called Sekha. and that person will see directly. They know directly earth as earth. Should not conceive earth, should not conceive from earth, should not conceive earth is mine, should not delight in earth. And why does it happen to them? Because that person may fully understand it. I say, tankissa hetu parinyaya. So this is parinyaya. Okay, parinyaya stage. And then when it comes to the aseka, that is the arahanta phala, and that person will directly know earth as earth, and does not conceive earth, does not conceive from earth, does not conceive earth is mine, does not delight in earth. Why? Because he or she has fully understood it. Because parinyatang tasati vadami. Okay. So before this also we learned parinyaya. Okay, and now we know parinyata. So earlier they should know that they should understand it, and later when it comes to the aseka or arahanta stage, you actually uh, understood it, fully understood it. That is called parinyata. So please know the difference. And the previous people, they did not know that. So aparinyata. Okay, these three words are important. One, aparinyata means they have not fully understood it. And in the second stage, they know that parinyaya, that is, they may fully understand it. Okay, and then later, when you become arahanta, that means parinyata. So these three words are very important. This is just like the summary so far of this sutta. And parinyata means fully understood. So, because why they have fully understood? Because he or she is free from lust through the destruction of lust. Free from lust. Okay. Ragasa, kaya ragasa means destruction of lust. Kaya means through the destruction, ragasa of lust, and vita ragata. Vita means free, and ragata, lust. So, kaya ragasa vita ragata, because that person is free from lust through the destruction of lust. And therefore, that person becomes fully, he has fully understood it. Because he or she is free from hate through the destruction of hate. So, kaya dosa savita dosasa. So, one is raga and the other is dosa. Dosa is the hate. Okay, so that also is not there. So because he or she is free from hate through the destruction of hate, kaya dosasa vita dosas. These are dosata. Kaya means from through the destruction. Okay, dosasa means of hate, and vita is free. Dosata again uh, because of hate. So because he or she is free from hate through the destruction of hate. And next, because he or she is free from delusion through the destruction of delusion. Kaya mohasa vita mohata. Now, the Buddha in this sutta is giving reasons why this person becomes parinyata, because that person is free from lust, free from hate, and free from delusion. So lust, hate, and delusion, or raga and dosa and moha. Okay, those are the three unwholesome roots. If anyone has, until and unless we completely eradicate these three unwholesome roots, we will always have something in us. And this is very difficult to get rid of until we achieve very high stages of perfection. Okay, so please remember, as I mentioned, for the Asutava Putujana, it is because of the Aparinyatang Tassati Vadami, because he has not fully understood it. And the Seka person, he is little more advanced because that person uh, knows Parinyayanti Tassati Vadami. Parinyayan Tassati Vadami. Why? So that he may fully understand it. And the Seka or the Arahanta is Parinyatang Tassati Vadami, because he has fully understood it. So this is the very epitome, the summary of the sutta so far. And then Buddha gives explanation why that is free, because they are free from lust, that is vita raga, and because free from hate, and that is vita dosa, and free from delusion, vita moha. So raga, dosa, and moha, these are the other things that we need to know. Then they become arhanta. And then the sutta talks about the Tathagata, also the same thing. If you if you see now, it is also the same way that the Tathagata also will do the same way. The difference between the Arahanta and the Tathagata, they are both actually uh, liberated persons. Tathagata is a self-liberated person, whereas the other Arahant monks are liberated but with the help of a Buddha. That is the difference. So, for example, these days we have the Dhamma, we have the Buddha Dhamma. So, if we follow the Dhamma, we can realize the Dhamma, then we can become Arahant. We cannot become Buddha now because already the Dhamma of the Buddha is there, right? So, we see now the Tathagata and the Arahanta, they are the most important concepts and liberated persons in the Theravada Buddhist teaching. And according to the sutta, Tathagata is the most important one because he is the one who found it, found the truth, and then he preached the truth. He self realized it, and then he would go to teach the others, and then other disciples would also follow it and understand, realize it. And now we in this part we also have another one called because he or she has understood that delight is the root of suffering. So delight, raga, raga or the Nandi. Nandi dukkha samulam. So Nandi, raga, tanha, there are many, many subtle differences, but they are actually the same family of desire, craving, attachment, or whatever, you know. So the Buddha says here, because he has understood that delight is the root of suffering, Nandi dukkasa mulang, mulang is root, and dukkasa is of suffering, and Nandi is delight. And that with being as condition, okay, with being as condition, when you have this delight, and then you have to be born, and then there is birth, bhava jati. When you have this desire, you want that desire to be with you, and then that becomes that being uh, actually leads you to jati, that is birth. So that existence, leads you to jati, and that for whatever has come to be there is aging and death. So whenever you have jati, you also have aging, you also have death, and so many other sufferings involved in between the death and the birth. So bhutasa jara marana. So whosoever is born, that person has to undergo jara, that is aging, and marana, that is death. Therefore, bhikkhus, through the complete destruction, fading away, cessation, and give up, we can actually get rid of this samsara. That is the only way. Okay, I think that's pretty much very good theory of the Buddha Dhamma, and list of all of the different things the ordinary ignorant person conceives, manjana, and delights in, and these objects of thought are termed the 24 bases, vatus of cognition, and then range from the most gross aspects of experience to the most subtle. And so these are uh, the three manjana and vatus, and then the other range of gross aspects of experience. Then we will also discuss those things in the sutta. And then the vatus, vatu, the in Mahanidesa Pali also we learn this vatu, and the four elements, that is matter, the different beings in the universe and their planes of existence, normal um, realm to divine realm. So, like human realms and other realms also are included in this. And then the divine realm, the dimensions of infinite space, that is akasananchayatana. And then infinite consciousness, that is vinyananchayatana. Neither perception nor non-perception, neva sanya, na sanyayatana. These are uh, the other vatus, the other realms. And four classes of sense data are also involved here: abstract categories of diversity, unity, and totality of the all, and then go to the Nibbana. And this is just the summary. I will go through this, the sutta to discuss more about this with you. Um, Okay, the ordinary process of the untaught worldlings, that is, worldly beings, conception of the world is filled with ignorance and conceptual proliferation, that is called papancha. So, avidya and papancha. And they are the root cause. And from that initial moment of sensory perception, this leads to the conceiving things in and coming out of whatever he perceives. So whatever happens here, the birth of someone, jati and bhava, this avidya and papancha are important concepts here. And this refers to how everyone develops view, that is ditti, because whenever we uh, like average asutava putujana, uneducated average people, when they view earth, water, fire, space, and all the other things as they are, then they have problem. Then they judge. Then they identify it as they are, as themselves, and then also they delight in that, and then that makes them create karma. So this happens because of ignorance, and this happens because of conceptual proliferation, and that leads them to their further um, one birth after another. How they should be and how they should relate to them, from simple views to complex metaphysical speculation. So this first sutta of Majjhima Nikāya is a very strong and very powerful and very profound Dhamma teaching, I would say. So maybe from now onwards, we will, based on this sutta, we will learn many more. Hopefully, we will. Yeah, there are a lot of other things, but Majjhima Nikāya overall is a very wonderful collection of 152 suttas. People also develop conceptions of themselves as having a solid self. So they have this conception, like when you have the body, you think, okay, this is permanent, and then you go to the other birth, other sansaric existence, from what we call Pumabhava. So they think, okay, from this birth to another something is going on, and that way they have also attachment, and they whenever they are born here, they see things, and they also associate with a lot of people, and they come to this world without any even cloth, and then slowly we start picking up things, we start possess things, and then we start to build our own ego, we start to build our own karma, and when we teach, we learn, we study, we accumulate property, movable and immovable property, and then expand our territories, and then we also build up ego. Okay, I'm educated, I am rich, I am better looking, and I have many rich relatives, and I have many influential friends, and I have a lot of political supporters, and all these things. I have a lot of followers, fans. All these things can actually lead to our own karmic fabrication, and then we delight in that, and then craving, and all these wrong views, and all lead to our own clinging into this world more and more, and that is becoming more and more difficult to come out of later on. So this process is an outline of the interdependent arising of suffering in the minds, different kinds of people, and how this process is counteracted by those who have taken up the teachings of the Buddha. The sutta goes on to elucidate how each other type of person gets closer and closer to the goal of Nibbana by knowing things as they are and not delighting and clinging to them. So the secret behind uncoding or decoding this sansaric misery is to is not to delight in things. That when we see things, when we hear things, when we smell things, when we taste things, when we touch things, we should not delight in that. The moment you delight in that something, then you start creating karma because you cling to them. The disciple in the higher training attempts not to conceive of things in a wrong way by not identifying with them and by not clinging to them. Then this is from average person to a seeker person, trainee person. You see? So this is a very beautiful hierarchy is there. First, they are just average people, and then they are here, disciples of learning, and then they become really learned ones. You see, Buddhist education in a different perspective. He does this by directly knowing things as they are, that is as impermanent, suffering, and non-self. These three characteristics are very important theories of Buddhism. And in this particular sutta, all the most important Buddhist teachings are included: impermanent, anicca, suffering, dukkha, and no self, anatta. If something is impermanent, and there cannot be any happiness, that can be always suffering. And when it is not permanent and when it is suffering, there cannot be any permanent soul or permanent entity, that can also be non-self. So the Buddha's teaching, yada nichang tang dukkhang, yang dukkhang tadanatta. If something is impermanent, it is suffering. If something is suffering, there cannot be any permanent entity or soul, that can be non-self. So why it happens to us? Because of our own ignorance. He, the disciple must be vigilant, because he has still not eradicated subtle mental dispositions of clinging. So this is we have to be very vigilant. Yoniso manasikara. We have to be very alert, very mindful about things, because otherwise it can always happen to us. We would be carried away by clinging to different sensations, different temptations in the world. So in order to eradicate all those latent tendencies, what you call anusaya kilesa, we have to be really, really vigilant. And we can also see here the Buddha's teaching is about understanding, realizing. And it's very important that we realize, we know, we understand things. And it's not just reading, it's also by practicing. When you practice, you can see things in a more different and in a more profound and in a more comprehensive scope. And that way all the arahantas, how it happened to them, the realization comes to them through meditation, through realization, through practicing, and nothing else. It's not like doing any other practice, but just uh, realizing, okay, impermanent, suffering, and non-self, and all these things are very important for us. We know the theory. Maybe with more constant practice and being more vigilant can lead us to our final goal. So the Arahanta and the Tathagata are awakened beings, and therefore they see directly into the truth of reality with no distorted conceptions, having uprooted all trace of the three defilements. Three defilements, as we discussed before: raga, dosa, and moha. So this is about um, the sutta, MulapariyayaSutta. I hope you learned something, and I also recommend you go to, if you are a Sri Lankan person, there is pitaka.lk for you to have a better understanding of Sinhala, and also Tripitaka books are there in Sinhala. And if you are in India or Asia, um, if you want to learn through your own Hindi language or something, Marathi or something, then I hope there are certain other like Goenka's Tripitaka Pariyatti books will be there. Some of them actually have been translated into Hindi and Marathi, and some are not. And also the one of the other recommendation for the English speaking people, I think Sutta Central, that is one of my favorite sites. And in Sutta Central you can see so many different translations. For example, this particular sutta is translated by Venerable Bhikkhu Sujato and Bhikkhu Bodhi and I.B. Horner, and I've seen 22 translations in other modern languages, and so it's really a very good combination for all the new people to learn about Buddha, this Dhamma. And so my with that being said, I would like to pay your kind attention. We are actually going to learn all these 152 suttas, Majjhima Nikāya suttas, one by one, and we are also going to chant them. And we also want some volunteers to help us, maybe briefing up, bringing the summary, and then posting it in a blog site so that other people um, can be can find it more helpful. And if somebody wants to help us, that will be very, very helpful one. On the other hand, it also is a very powerful, meritorious activity. So please come help us. And if somebody wants to translate, these things can also be done. That will also be helpful to many other people. We really have to help people because of the ignorance. Now, the Sutta also talks about ignorance is a very powerful factor, so people cannot see the truth. So we have to help them see the truth. And you and I, who are interested in learning the Dhamma, who want to help other people, then we should help. Please let me know if you are interested in helping more to teach this Dhamma for the benefit of our own fellow other community beings. And thank you so much for joining. And if you have any question, please do let us know, or any recommendations, any suggestion, any feedback. You are all welcome. And thank you again, and wish you all a very happy, wonderful week ahead. And with that, we conclude Sabbe Satta Bhavantu Sukhitatta. May you be well, happy, healthy, and safe wherever you are. Sabbitiyo vivajjantu sabbarogo vinasatu mate bhavattvantarayo sukhe digāyuko bhavatu sabba mangalang rakhantu sabba devata sabba buddhanubhavena sada sutti bhavantu te bhavatu sabba mangalang rakhantu sabba devata sabba dhammanubhavena sada sutti bhavantu te Bhavatu sabba mangalang rakhantu sabba devata sabba sanghanubhavena sada sotti bhavantu te abhivadana silisa niccang vaddha pachayino chattaro dhamma vaddhanti ayuvanno sukhang balang Ayurarogya sampatti sagga sampatti mevacha ato nibbana sampatti iminate samichyatu sadhu sadhu sadhu. Thank you everyone.